everybody. Welcome to Gov Take 5. My name's Liz Watts. I'm a partner in our Australian local government practice, and I'm joined today by my colleague Ruth Morgan, who is the UK local government lead.
Hi, great to be here with you today.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it's exciting. And we're going to talk about the challenge for councils and municipalities of becoming more digital and data oriented. So those online, grab your coffee, join us as we explore the many and varied strands of how this particular challenge impacts councils and ultimately communities. So Ruth, what would you say are the drivers that you're seeing for councils to become more digital, more data oriented?
So I think the first thing from a very UK perspective is there is a drive for consolidation and reorganisation within the sector, in part to simplify, but also to leverage the benefits of larger organisations. And that's requiring not just the organisations to change, but then their enterprise architecture, the way that data is held and stored. So that is definitely one of the key drives in the UK at the moment.
Are there any great examples in the UK of councils that you know who are really pushing that agenda around, trying to use digital processes, more data-oriented approaches to better connect with their customers and community?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a huge direction of travel towards that. So if you think about the things that we've touched on, so that consolidation, the need for better data and systems, the customer centricity, and then the digital deficit, we're working with a council that's kind of grappling with all of those at the same time. We've been recently gone through local government reorganisation. It's now looking to create a council that is connected and ready for the 21st century. And the things that they're trying to do that quite rapidly. So there's a huge technology investment that's required, but concurrently there's a piece of work that's happening around setting up the data centre of excellence. So if we've got this digital technology cross council, how do you make sure you have the skill set and the mindset to use the data that's required, and that's proven to be really useful with use cases and things that start to bring that to life for people. So as they're going through that change, they're seeing the benefits of doing that.
And it's actually about, how do we support our workforce to gain new skills? How do we look to attract skills in a different way? How do we use this experience of the pandemic and the shifts in work style that's brought? How do we use that to our advantage to try and access some of that talent? And I know that's there's been some work done in the UK around what are the different options and models that councils can explore to uplift and expand their workforce capability.
So we've done some work with one of the regions, so across a number of local authorities in the UK, to look at the roles people did before they did the difficult roles, so something like a care worker. So the role they did before they were a care worker, and then the role they went on to, so you could see any career paths or progression, and then worked with the place to consider how they might attract more people from those areas into roles that hadn't historically been filled. So some very simple things you can do when you've got the analysis to know who you're targeting, to make applying for the job more appealing. And then the big challenge comes with the retaining and thinking about the career pathways beyond, make sure you retain them. But yeah, simple for effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're seeing is that there are a number of councils who are really looking to explore the option of sharing expertise. There's an example of a group of councils in South Australia who have formed a collaborative agreement to identify where they can club together, if you like, to be able to bring in the sort of expertise from the market that they couldn't individually hire. So one example of that is they've hired a strategic procurement manager who is actually driving procurement strategy and trying to drive procurement benefits across all three councils. So I think that opportunity to look at different models of engaging the workforce and engaging talent is something that we're seeing over here, particularly for those councils who aren't in the metropolitan regions or in that easy commutable distance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the fight for talent is real, isn't it? And people are expecting a lot more from their employees, and they're wanting to work in a seamless way when they're doing their roles. If you've got a choice to be somewhere where something is seamless and easy to make the right decisions and to see the impact you're having over somewhere that's much more clunky and traditional, then you're going to lose your workforce.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that is coming out really strongly, I think, as a theme in Australia is that councils are and inherently purpose-led organisations. You know, a council is about, it's the closest tier of government to community, but often they struggle to connect that purpose back through their organisation. I think there's a real opportunity, and it's part of, I suppose, about, you know, how do we actually really bake in the why that we need to modernize and become more digital and data oriented, but how do we really use a strategic sort of corporate planning framework to make that real for our people, so that I understand that, you know, part of what my priorities are to identify ways to digitize my processes, or part of my priorities are to use data better for decision making, as well as obviously the goals around delivery of community projects, or, you know, maintenance of community service levels. Is that piece around connecting purpose to performance something that you're seeing in the UK as well?
Absolutely. And we're working with a client at the moment in a finance function. So, you know, they're implementing a new ERP system. They want to change the way they work. They want to make it all the things we've described. But actually, one of the key things that we're working with the director of finance around is how do we support the finance function to understand the impact of the work they have on the city that they work in. So a real live issue at the moment with a client, and a real desire, and it's been
Yeah.
amazing to see how people now talk about the work that they do and how that impacts the city.
Well, thanks, Ruth. It's always a pleasure to catch up. We'll love to chat, talk about councils all day. And thank you to everyone that joined us today. Stay tuned for more Gov Take 5 episodes. We're going to explore many more topics impacting the government and public sector. If you want to continue the dialogue on any of the topics we cover and what they mean for you and your clients, we do encourage you to get in touch through our website. We're always happy to connect. Until next time, take care.